Why has the US captured President Maduro of Venezuela? Is it about the oil? And does President Trump mean it, saying that they would run Venezuela? Let's go. Well, it seems like from Christmas of 2025 to the new year of 2026, President Trump, the guy who had campaigned to end and even until recently boasted to have ended 8 wars, has been busy sharing what I would call quote-unquote war gifts. I'm sure my fellow Nigerians know what I'm talking about. And just after that, the quote-unquote peacemaker president ordered his elite forces to capture the Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores. Mr. Trump immediately confirmed via his Truth Social post that the order had come from him and that both the husband, Mr. Maduro, and his wife Celia were flown to New York to face federal charges, including narco-terrorism and cocaine smuggling. Shortly after, Venezuelan vice president was sworn in as interim leader amid chaos and protests. Now, let's get some context and background. This dramatic move didn't happen overnight. For years, Washington has accused Maduro's government of corruption, election fraud, and turning Venezuela into a narco state. The US policy towards Caracas, which is the capital city of Venezuela for starters, over the past decades has blended sanctions, diplomatic isolation, and support for opposition figures, a classic US regime change playbook seen in many places from Latin America to the Middle East. President Trump, long branding himself a peacemaker, has now presided over a full-blown foreign military strike and regime overthrow, something he has opposed for years. To supporters, this is a decisive action against corruption and narco crime, a very controversial thing that can be only vindicated by the court of law. To critics, it is the opposite of peace, using force rather than diplomacy. And critics like Mehdi Hassan have written extensively arguing that it is all about the oil. Regarding whether or not law has been broken, international lawyers and the United Nations Human Rights Office have warned that the operation has likely violated core principles of sovereignty and the UN Charter, arguing that unilateral military action without Security Council approval breaches international law. The UN says it makes the world less safe by undermining global norms. Well, Venezuela has one of the largest militaries in Latin America, yet the US elite forces were able to conduct a precision capture with an estimate of 40 casualties. So ask yourself, if this could happen to a country like Venezuela, are we safe? And what are human rights organizations saying about this? Well, they have a two-way part critique. They condemn Maduro's record of political repression and abuses, but also decry the US military intervention as dangerous and illegal. Amnesty International, for example, and International Criminal Court are tracking abuses on both sides, including concerns about civilian harms during the raid and the legality of removing a head of state by force. What about reactions? On the one hand, Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, the Nobel laureate, has celebrated Maduro's capture as the hour of freedom, in quote. On the other side, former US Vice President Kamala Harris called the operation unlawful and unwise, saying it jeopardizes US security without clear benefit. And from the international stage, European leaders, according to the Guardian newspaper of the UK, have appeared torn in face of New World Order after Venezuela attack. Finally, this isn't just a crisis for Venezuela. It is a test for international law, power, and peace in the 21st century. Now, how will global order hold up when the world's most powerful nation decides how and when to topple another? And what should Nigeria and Nigerians learn from this? God bless Nigeria. I'm Umar Isa Nandugu.